A huge reason why people leave products or services is because they do not understand how that product or service is going to make their business more money. So, what we want to do is have a system set up that teaches them after they sign up with you what your product is all about, how it makes them more money and or service. And so this is a system I feel like every business should have set up. You're likely doing this manually if you don't have it set up as a system right now. And what that probably looks like is you reaching out through an email or a Slack message or trying to schedule a call and then quickly teach them, here's all this cool stuff of what our product or service does, and this is how you should use it. Most of the time, if you're like me, when I've done it that way in the past, it's not very receptive of your client. What they usually see is it's like you're interrupting them, you're trying to hurry and teach them all this stuff, and they still don't really understand why that's a necessary thing. So setting up some type of like email system that's going to teach them after they've signed up and or help them with a lot of your FAQ is going to be a much better approach to helping them get on the same track as you. Okay. So I'm going to read through this overview real quick, and then we'll go through this system together of how this is applicable to your business and how you set it up. So this system automatically sends helpful content to customers, watches what they engage with, and alerts the team at the right time so businesses can improve product use, prevent churn, and grow accounts without the manual work. So up here, this one is different from our lead nurturing one. If you are interested in how you get people interested in buying your product or service, I have a whole other video on that for lead nurturing. This one is going to be for existing customers, so people that just signed up with you, and how we're going to teach them to use our product or get the most out of our service. So we're looking for a deal closed here to start this system. And then the number one thing I suggest doing right off the bat is assessing the customer. So if we send out some type of email and it's not going to be generic, we want to make sure we understand the type of customer we're sending this to. So is this customer a 30-day-old customer or are they a year-old customer? Because it's likely going to be different what I say to them depending on how long they've been with our service. And then what you want to do after that is look at the trigger. So do we want to send this out as a newsletter that's like once a week or once a month? Or do we want to send this out as a one-time series? So after they sign up, we're just going to send out, 3, 4, 5 emails that tell them the common things that they should be looking for in our product or service. Or do we want to send this out when they click on something? There's several ways to do this. I would say the most common I see is like a newsletter style. My business does a newsletter. We have a weekly newsletter we put our existing clients on. And then every week we send them some type of like use case. So, hey, this is what we just recently did for X company. We set up a CSAT survey in Salesforce for them, and here's the results of that. And then we teach how we did that along the way. And we are hoping that one teaches them all the different ways to use Salesforce, and then two, how we can do that for them and hopefully make that relevant to them so that they want to do that too. So it maximizes how we can continue to get more work from them as a business, but also how that business that signed up with us, they're also going to feel happy, all the different ways that they can use our service to grow their own business. So it is a win-win that way. I do like the newsletter one. It's a little less thought as well because you can make it a little more generic. You're not trying to think through the specific type of customer. So it's a little bit easier to get set up. So I would recommend that if you do not have this set up and you're just starting, a newsletter is a really easy way to do this. The second easiest would be that series. So, hey, they sign up. We have 5 things that people ask us every single time after they sign up. And here's the 5 emails we're going to put together to talk about those common issues that people have. So FAQ. So, okay, number 1, you sign up, you see our product. It's overwhelming. You don't know how to use it. Here's pain point number 1 we're going to talk about and how you can use it. We're going to even attach maybe like a demo in that email with like a Loom video or a YouTube video that they can watch. So it gives them some self-help. And then they'll go through these 3, 4, 5 emails and they just send that out as a one-time deal. Here's everything to kind of help you help yourself. So that would be the most common I would see after the newsletter. The last one, I did include it. I don't see this one as much, but people do it. It's basically if someone clicks on something in our newsletter or they read a specific blog, we use that as a trigger to be like, okay, they just read something about this feature that we have on our product in our blog post. That means they're likely trying to figure out how to use this feature in our product. So what we want to do is send them over an email today that explains that further with maybe a video attached, and you're sending that out. What I would say, if you go that route, it's a little less common, but you can still do it and it still works really great. It's more work to set up. You got to think through that a little bit better. I would also consider making sure you don't spam them. So I have seen it where people set this up and then they send too many emails to these people and they start feeling like, man, I'm just getting spammed as soon as I signed up for this product or service. And it kind of turns them off. So maybe have some type of limit. Hey, we will send these, but we only will send a max of 2 per month. And then we cap it off at that. So some items to think through of how you want to do this. Again, newsletter most common. Second most common is like a one-time series teaching them on FAQ to use your product or get the most out of your service. Now, if you are doing something where we click, then this is where we want to divide it up by the content type. So if they click at a blog post, then maybe we want to send out the product tips and a demo for that. If they click on a blog post talking about upcoming releases, then we will send them the upcoming features. If they click on something where it's like FAQ blog post, maybe we'll send them like the top 5 mistakes people make with our product. If you're not doing that, then you can simply pick a topic, talk about that thing each week or each month in your newsletter. If you're doing the series again, come up with maybe like the top 5 most common problems and then put that in an email and teach them how to do it. Now, what I want to do from here is look to see if they clicked. Unlike lead nurturing, we're not super concerned at this point whether or not they read it in the sense of what do we do after they click on this. We do kind of want to know if they clicked on it and looked at it so that we can have the conversation. Like I said, if they go to leave the company and I go back and I look and you never looked at any of these emails I sent you to try to teach you how to use the service or product, makes that conversation a little bit easier because now you have a data point to be like, well, hey, we tried to teach you this. We tried to reach out. We offered our support. We offered, all these different things that would help you use the product or service and you didn't even look at them. So you want to know from that angle. It gives you that signal of whether or not someone is adopting your product or service. But I'm not really concerned, and I don't see this with businesses either, of us trying to take some type of action. Now, you could, if you want, let's say you really, really want them to read whatever it is that you're sending them. If they don't read it and they don't click it, you could notify like your account manager to follow up with them and say, hey, number one reason why people leave the business or leave our company is because they do not understand this piece about our product or they do not understand this piece about our service. And so it's really important that you read this and you can nudge them, something like that. Most of the time, though, I just see this as businesses trying to be proactive, not spam, and just say, hey, we sent you all this. We tried to give you a good onboarding experience. And it's a data point for us to say that we did it. And if you do want to leave, we can refer back to this, right? Sometimes it's in even their contract, right, that you can't get a refund unless you've gone through certain onboarding steps. So sometimes it protects you that way if you want to go that route too. But most of the time, I do not see people set up something where they're super concerned with trying to set it up to say, did you read this? Did you click it? Yes or no? Now, if they go down this yes path, what I would then suggest that you do next is look at the type of customer that you're going to be dealing with, okay? Because not all of them are going to be the same. If you have someone that signed up for your lowest package on your product or service, maybe they don't qualify per the price they're paying for a lot of attention or help from you guys. In that situation, I probably don't want to notify a bunch of people on my team and get them involved because they're not paying for it, right? They're a smaller account. That's what they've opted in for. We don't offer that service. Now, the reverse could also be true if they're a VIP customer, meaning they are like a whale for us, they spend the most, and or they have some type of like contract renewal coming up. In that situation, I probably do want to notify the account manager. I want to update those notes on their account in Salesforce. And I may, this is optional, but I may even want to date stamp stuff on their account in Salesforce to let us know that, hey, they did click these things, they did read these things, because again, that's a signal. If their contract renewal is coming up, that's great for the sales team to know so that they can get in there and talk about those pain points, help resolve them so that they re-up. If they're a VIP customer and we don't want them to leave at all, obviously we want to pay attention very strongly to those signals so that if that becomes an issue, we can try to avoid that from happening by talking through some things here that we can possibly resolve for them ahead of time. So I would pay attention to those, but differently depending on the account that you're going through. So here's the options that I would go through. Really, if this is like a contract renewal or a bigger customer, I would notify that account manager so that they know. I would update that account in Salesforce so that you have the notes that they did click or read those emails, and then maybe even date stamp some items to let us know when they did that too, so that you have that on record. More or less, though, if we zoom out, like I said, the point of this is so that you have a system set up to be proactive, give someone a good onboarding experience, and make sure they understand how to use your product or service so that they don't want to leave, and they understand how this is going to be a necessary tool and or service to grow their business. So if you do not have this set up, you'd like it set up, and you want someone to just do it for you, you can click the link below. That link will send you over to see if we are a good fit as your consultants. If we are a good fit, we can work with your business, you can work with ours. Then we would love to come in, talk through this specifically for your business and how you guys do it, and then set up a system that would do something similar to this. If not, if this is something you want to attempt on your own, hopefully this video here gives you a framework of how to do that. Like I mentioned, there's a lot of like what ifs and tailoring it to your business, but this framework should help you think through that and at least give you the idea of how you should be thinking about it when you go to do this yourself. Either way, looking forward to speaking with you guys in the future. Thanks.